Hey everyone, welcome to Wisdom Conversations. And today we're going to be talking about AI in finance. So basically, the future of finance with AI technology now, seeping into it, how operationally finance is going to change, and just what's going to be the impact of AI on finance. I'm Utkarsh, content and growth lead at Wisdom, and with me is Manshi, our marketing director. Over to you, Manshi.
Hey, Utkarsh. I'm so excited to dive into this one today. So, today's topic is AI in finance, which feels like one of those conversations everyone knows they need to have, but few have actually unpacked what's really happening on the ground.
Yeah, I think exactly. We see in marketing how AI has caused like a massive disruption. In customer success, there are agents to listen to queries and solve disputes. But finance, I think, was a bit slow to adopt AI, primarily, I think, because uh, finance requires a lot of accuracy. And at first, there was just a distrust and not a lack of confidence, you would say. But in 2025, and now that we're almost ending 2025, I think finance is going through like a silent but quite big transformation. Uh, so yeah, let's talk about why finance is like the perfect breeding ground for AI, rather than any other business function. We know that finance teams are always data heavy, process driven, and extremely detail and accuracy oriented. And I think that's what makes the current capabilities of AI so much suitable for current finance teams. Uh, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree with you. And, just about yesterday, I was speaking with an FP&A leader based out of California. And this is the exact conversation that we were having about how finance has been rather slow to adopt AI because of distrust, because of really dealing with a lot of data and security related issues. And the usual projection with AI and how the mistrust has been there, so forth. But you'd be surprised to know how things are starting to change very fast. And a lot of that is because the tools are finally catching up to finance's complexity. Finance has already gone through the automation wave. Most of these companies now use some form of software to take care of their financial operations. And industry reports by McKinsey and other big players suggest that AI insights and agents are the next big thing.
Yeah, I think now that you mentioned McKinsey, I was reading a report which stated that 92% of all companies in the US are planning to like double their investments in AI over the next 3 years, which is huge, which is like all companies, at this point. And we see a lot of new age companies layering AI into like forecasting models to create real-time simulations and scenarios. And we see a lot of companies removing the need for 200-line Excel models, uh, just making human effort redundant, whereas still tying human judgment to, the capabilities of AI, which makes it true intelligence. You can have your own opinions, you can have your own insights, but the data layer and the AI layer will always be there to tell you why exactly each thing is happening. And I think, in a sense, then you could say technology in finance is moving away from reactive reporting and now it's going towards, I think, predictive analysis, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And CFOs now expect AI to be part of their digital controllership, helping them run reports or check compliance, even summarizing board decks. So, what's cool is that we're seeing CFOs move from being number keepers to narrative builders now. So, AI is helping them tell stories about the business with data, not just present spreadsheets, which is, I think, insane, right? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. We are already seeing a lot of impact, definitely. But with these McKinsey reports and other big studies suggesting that almost all of the companies are going to invest heavily in AI, we're going to see a lot of impact everywhere. I think not only in finance, but like generally everywhere. But since we're talking about finance today, let's get into the specifics. What are we really seeing, AI do in finance, and what are the actual day-to-day improvements that businesses have been seeing? As you mentioned, we talked to a lot of uh, FP&A, finance, controller type folks. So, what have you heard from them?
Yeah, let's get into that, and let's start with the basics, perhaps about the impact that AI is making on finance. So let's start with forecasting and planning. AI-driven FP&A tools like Giraffe, Pigment, or Cube, they use machine learning to identify trends humans miss, seasonality, lead to revenue lag, or even churn probability, and they project more accurate forecasts. Integrations with these smart systems make real time forecasting absolutely possible today. The other thing that we could talk about and we should talk about is expense and audit automation. So there are platforms such as Ramp, Brex, Airbase. All of these automatically detect duplicate invoices or flag non compliant expenses. Plus, AI scans the receipts and makes entries on its own, which is which just saves so many more hours if you think about it. And at the same time, these AI agents answer policy related queries in detail, such as which expense cannot be reimbursed and the reason behind it. Um, we could also talk about fraud detection. There are big banks like JP Morgan and HSBC, which use AI to detect anomalies in millions of transactions per minute, spotting fraud patterns earlier than traditional systems. Um, another aspect that we should talk about perhaps is accounts reconciliation. There are tools such as Blackline out there who help automate reconciliations, and they're cutting month-end close times drastically if you look into that. Um, one more spare that we should absolutely talk about today is commission and payout analysis, which is our world at Wisdom. At Wisdom, AI co-pilots can now explain payout anomalies, why a rep earned less, or which plan rule caused an exception in basically plain English, in layman terms, right? And that's a massive leap for finance and sales ops teams.
Yeah, definitely. Not only I think it is a time saver, it's about the quality of decisions that you're now able to make. For example, instead of going through like your multiple spreadsheets, your multiple systems, tracking a variance as to why it happened, AI can now tell you how exactly the variance was caused, what was the variance, and in
Yep.
the future, what should you do to handle that variance. I think so. It's a very comprehensive coverage that AI is offering. And I think that's primarily because of integrations and connectivity. So we see these AI models are not like standalone. They integrate
Mm.
with your existing software, co-pilots, they add a layer to your entire tech stack so that your tech stack starts talking to each other. They share data, and then obviously, if your data is being shared comprehensively, you can make pretty good insights, I think.
Yeah.
Uh, Yep. Now that we've talked about some of these functional areas, let me also walk you through some of the companies I've noticed that are making like waves in AI usage. I think yeah, we touched up upon Ramp, which is like a spend management company. So what it does is basically their AI agents now scan employee expense receipts, ledger them automatically, prepare all the expenses balances automatically, and based on the policies you fed to RAMP and the policies that exist in your system, they also lack like a customer support sort of supportive layer, telling employees why some expenses cannot be reimbursed, what exactly was the reason, when your reimbursements will be arriving. So everything. There needs to be no human intervention in spend management, which used to be such a hassle, chasing after employees for each receipt and stuff like that. Now that has become, completely automated. Another company is Data Rails, which has turned like FP&A and financial forecasting into like a real-time process. So what they do is connect basically your CRM, your ERP, your billing and accounting software together and create like a real-time forecasting model. So not only do you have like a Q3 forecast, your Q3 forecast is changing as you go through Q1 and Q2 based on how your CRM and ERP are being updated. So for the first time, we have now real-time forecasting in the world, which is crazy to me. You can
Yeah.
almost accurately nowadays you can tell what you're going to make, what you're going to spend, and stuff like that. Then there is Zest, and a unique thing about Zest is they have made credit underwriting faster. And what they do basically is they use AI agents to do KYC. So they connect with the customer, they analyze all their data, they match it with records, whether they are, the right data or not. And then the AI agent actually video calls you to check whether you're the same person or not, and then you're verified, and then the underwriting process starts, which is crazy. No human is involved,
Yeah.
but you're still, doing human verification. Another good example would be Upstart, which is doing the sort of similar thing to Zest, but the difference is credit scores. So, based on your entire financial history, Upstart can now uh, predict and project your credit score and assist your, financial decision making. So if you're going to take out a loan or if you're going to pay out a mortgage, how is it going to impact your credit score, stuff like that. Again, predictive analysis, as I mentioned before.
Yeah.
And I think the last example is us at Visdum. So what we do, I think, is we already had automated commission calculations, reduced the time to payouts, stuff like that. And now we have also added like an AI layer to it. So our AI copilot sits across like Wisdom and your CRM, your ERP integration. And whatever you need to ask in terms of using Wisdom, what are, if you want to make a change to a plan, how should you do it? If you want to maybe recompute commissions for like the previous quarter, you can do ask the copilot to do it, and you will get answers again in layman terms. So we've basically made our software much more easier to use. Uh, and at the same time, we've introduced AI nudges, which are like smart suggestions that point you towards like the right direction in terms of commission planning and commission pay management, basically. Yeah, I think these are some of like the most interesting applications sort of that I've seen. But yeah, while we're talking about all these applications and all these interesting techie things, I've noticed something and I've been thinking about it. Uh, where do you think, with AI handling so much, human intuition will come in, or where will human judgment matter now?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, and human intuition matters a lot. There's a study by Deloitte that was done recently, and it states that only 15% of finance executives believe AI can replace human judgment, but 90% see it as a critical decision support tool. So. Essentially, AI can process data, but humans still bring context. For instance, AI might tell you that your expenses are trending 10% higher. But it doesn't quite understand that you could be intentionally ramping up hiring or expanding GTM efforts. So finance leaders still have to interpret results, not just accept them. What's become really more interesting to me from the AI in finance revolution is that how jobs have changed, right? How using some of the AI tools that you mentioned has now become a part of these job roles, precisely because they help you save so many more hours at best. And the only way that a CFO or a FP&A analyst would be getting better at their job is if they're using these AI tools more effectively. So so again, human judgment is extremely important, and AI is just a means to helping humans work more efficiently, is what I feel.
Yeah, definitely. And I think uh, from what I get, explainability is, I think, becoming as important as accuracy. In a boardroom, figures you have arrived at by using like an AI model will not work unless the AI model also gives you the reason behind those figures.
Exactly.
Right. And yeah, I think that makes sense. The CFOs, who will combine AI and human judgment in the best possible way, I think those will be the CFOs that win, right? Like scaling intuition through technology. But yeah, now that we have sort of talked about the ethical and interpretability layer, you could say that. What's next? I think the most interesting part of these type of conversations is what's going to happen now.
Yeah, and another year coming to an end. We're almost gearing up for 2026. So
Hmm.
I think I see three big things happening, Utkarsh. Firstly, would be agentic AI systems. Multiple AI agents collaborating, one for data gathering, one for analysis, one for insight synthesis, all within finance platforms. And there are platforms such as N8N, Make.com. All of these platforms are enabling agentic AI workflows, and they're making automations that can reason, decide, and act across multiple systems. N8N even lets users build flexible AI powered automations with custom logic and human in the loop steps. The second thing that I see happening is continuous forecasting, real time updates where forecasts adjust automatically as CRM or ERP data changes. The third thing that I think we see all around us, even at Wisdom, as we speak, are finance copilots. every team that we come across in the future will have an AI assistant that'll act as a layer that can instantly answer things like, what's our ARR variance, or what if we increase quota by 10%, right? So together, I think all of this transforms traditional trigger to action setups into self-running digital teammates. So, for example, an AI agent classifies invoices, matches them with budgets, routes exceptions, and logs payments, all without manual input. So it's insane how the world is changing and at the pace at which it is changing.
Yeah, I think the part that is coolest to me is now there is software to use software that you already have,
Yeah,
while still acting like a human, right? So the
yeah,
things you mentioned like NA10 and make.com, they can access simple like Google, they will go to a Google sheet, they will pick up some figures, they will go to a financial model, they will insert those figures, arrive at a result, and then you can just see those results.
yeah,
So basically your AI model acts like a human who is using those your software tech stack, but it's actually an AI, so you can have a higher degree of accuracy, faster turnaround times, like the general benefits of AI, I think.
yeah.
And an interesting study by Gartner, suggested, as you said, ki 80% of corporate finance functions will have AI copilots embedded into their tech stack. So yeah, I think the next phase of AI is like a strategic supportive copilot sort of thing, and not simple calculators or like generative AI where you can generate images and stuff.
Absolutely,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
think.
Yeah, go on, Utkarsh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think, yeah, whenever we talk about AI, we hear a lot of things in the direction of, okay, AI is here to replace humans and it'll eat away at the jobs of humans. But I don't think that's true. And in marketing, we've seen how our jobs have become easier and we can do such a wide variety of things in our arsenal because some of these AI models and some of the AI agents can do things that were previously inaccessible. And I think the
Yeah,
same thing will happen to finance as well.
yeah,
Finance co-pilots, workflows, predictive modeling and forecasting. I think these will help finance teams to, adopt to market changes faster. I think that will be a huge competitive advantage in the future as well.
absolutely, absolutely, 100% agreed. I think there's just so much already happening with finance. There are layers on top of your CRMs or ERPs or even your spreadsheets for that matter, which help
Hmm.
which help running simulations. People are able to run simulations in minutes, which used to take earlier hours or even days for that matter. And they're able to do this within minutes, simplifying their job so much more, making them so much more productive. So it's insane how what all we're able to achieve right now. And I'm so excited to see how much more, the ceiling that we'll be able to hit going forward in 2026.
Yep, definitely. I think the future is clear. I think the winners will be, at least the first wave of winners will be the people who are able to digest AI faster and incorporate into their tech stacks efficiently. I think that's also key because I there is a huge push of AI where AI might not be needed. As we talked about, right? The balance of
Yep.
ethical human judgment and speed of tech, the speed of AI.